When this guy heard a kitten's desperate cries from a roadside, he did all he could to help. One little kitten was alone and helpless, left by the roadside to fend for herself in the dirt. And we'll never know how many people, if any, ignored her cries for food and attention. But one person couldn't just walk by. In fact, he did everything he could to save her life. In December 2016, YouTube user Kalpana Peter uploaded a video of his attempt to help a helpless kitten he found close to death. The social media user, whose real name is Peter, lives in India. In addition, he works for Chin Chin Koo Kids Nursery Rhymes, so perhaps he has an affinity with the younger and more vulnerable society. At least when Peter heard an unusual sound when he was going about his business, the big-hearted man couldn't help but investigate. The noise sounded like an animal in distress, and as it turned out, what he heard was loud yowling from a very small kitten. But it was miraculous that the kitten could make any noise at all. The poor thing was in terrible health and needed help desperately. What's more, it was alone on a roadside and covered in the filth of a nearby drain. How it had got there, though, was a mystery. Even more disturbingly, the kitten was terribly thin when Peter found her. She was very hungry, afraid, and sleepless, the YouTube video captions explained. In fact, the cat was so weak she didn't have the energy to move when he approached her. She couldn't even stand. So Peter gently picked up the kitten. Once he had given the malnourished and dehydrated feline something to drink, though, she perked up a little bit. Then, adorably, the little cat started to purr. Throughout all of this, Peter held the scrawny kitten close, and perhaps this marked the first time since being separated from her mommy that she felt safe. Certainly her actions suggested so, as she lay exhausted in the crook of Peter's arm. The little stray fell fast asleep. Indeed, the little cat seemed taken with Peter, who named her Hetty. But there was only so much that he could do for her by himself, and she needed medical attention if she was going to survive her ordeal. The next stop for the pair, then, was a veterinary hospital. Fortunately, the animal clinic treated Hetty well and was soon able to release her back into the care of her rescuer. Still, just as Hetty had grown attached to Peter, he too had formed a bond with the little kitten. And as a result, he decided to adopt her. Heartwarmingly then, Hetty now had a home and a loving human to help her recover from her past traumas. When she was safe under Peter's roof, though, the first step was to get her clean and strong, and the healing process began with a bottle full of nourishing milk. Unfortunately, Hetty seemed to have gotten a little too close to the drain where she was found. As a result, her fur was coated in dirt and needed a good wash. That's just what her adopted daddy gave her then, and perhaps it was the first lovely bath of her life. Furthermore, the warm water didn't just prove to be rejuvenating. Once the dirt was washed away, in fact, the emaciated little kitten revealed the potential to be a beautiful cat. Indeed, Hetty's fur was soft and fluffy underneath the grime. And over time, Hetty grew stronger and got to experience a side of life she might never have known. After all, if she'd remained abandoned on the streets, she likely would have not had a chance at joy. Without having to focus on survival, then, she could relax and play. What's more, Hetty soon moved on from bottle feeding, and under the love and care of her new human, she blossomed from a scrawny street cat into a beautiful, healthy fur baby. In fact, she was unrecognizable from the kitten Peter had rescued from the road. But Hetty seemed to be forever grateful for the love and affection she received. She'd snuggle up with Peter and take a nap every day, just like the first time she fell asleep in his arms. Meanwhile, and understandably, the incredible transformation Hetty went through got a lot of attention on the web. The YouTube video Peter uploaded, for example, received over 56,500 views and 448 upvotes. In addition, several animal news websites covered the abandoned kitten story, and internet commenters in particular had nothing but good things to say about the rescue. You are a hero. The world is a better place because of the compassion you have. Hugs to your precious kitty, one YouTube user said. Another wrote, "Bless you. You have such a kind and warm soul. Thank you so much for rescuing this sweet little kitty." Indeed, Hetty was a lucky kitty to have found a loving home. Tragically, though, not every kitten is so fortunate. India, for one, has a large population of stray animals, and many of them are suffering on the streets, just as baby Hetty did. The population of cats and dogs on the streets in India is so significant, it's not possible to find loving homes for even a fraction of them. Charity Stray Angels India wrote on its crowdfunding page, Every day, countless numbers of puppies and kittens are born in drains and underneath cars. Meanwhile, Peter wrote on his YouTube channel, "I hope my videos will inspire you. And please share with others too. And it would certainly be a beautiful thing if more people in the world treated animals like Peter treated Hetty. Let's hope then that many others will follow his example."